Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video, we are going to learn about finding the average. There are a couple different names that people use to describe this. You may also hear mean or the arithmetic mean or arithmetic average. In this case, we are just going to refer to this as finding the average. So let's dive right in. The most common formula you may see is this. The average is equal to the sum of all of your numbers divided by the count of how many numbers you had in your group. A fancier way to write it is the sum of x all over n. Both of those are exactly the same. That is just a fancy, more compact way to write the average. In general, you're going to be given a list or a set of numbers and asked to find the average. When you do that, the average is telling you that typically you will find 50% of people below that number and 50% above. Let's try a couple examples. Here it asks us to find the average of the following numbers, giving us 4, 5, 9, 3, 7, and 8. Using the formula from the previous screen, we first need to find the sum. So we have 4 plus 5 plus 9 plus 3 plus 7 plus 8. Once you add all that up, that gives you 36. All right, now that we have the sum, we're going to have to find the count. And this is the easiest part. The count is simply going to be how many numbers we have in our list, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So our count is 6. To find the average, which we'll just say A, is equal to the sum, 36, divided by the count, 6. 36 divided by 6 gives us 6 as our final answer. Here's another example of this problem. Go ahead and pause this video and give it a shot on your own. Starting with the equation on your screen, let's find the sum. 6 plus 7 plus 11 plus 5 plus 9 plus 10 gives you a total of 48. And then we can count how many numbers we have. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. So now again, we have the average is equal to the sum of 48 divided by the total count of 6. 48 divided by 6 is 8. And that's your average. And again, they may say find the mean, like you see here. They're all asking you to do the same thing to find the average. Okay, now we have a word problem. It says there are 4 jars on the table. The first jar has 12 marbles. The second jar has 24 marbles. The third jar has 16 marbles. And the fourth jar has 28 marbles. What is the average number of marbles in the jars? Okay, now that we've written this down, this basically looks like the previous problems. So let's find the average. Adding them all up, that gives us a total of 80. We can look at the count. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 jars or 4 numbers. So the average is going to be 80, which is our sum, over the count, which is 4. 80 divided by 4 is 20 marbles. And that is the mean, or the average. All right, let's look at one more. Okay, a class recently took a math test. 4 students scored a 92, 3 scored an 87, and 5 scored an 83. What is the average score for this class? Okay, this one is a little bit more complicated. Essentially, we are saying that 4 people got a 92%, 3 people got an 87%, and 5 got an 83%. There's a couple ways you can do this. You can either multiply the numbers together to get your total, or you can write it all out. I'm going to write it out to show you truly what's happening with this class, but then we'll review how to do this by using multiplication. So writing them out in order, we had a 92, a 92, a 92, and a 92. So there's the 4 92s. We had 3 87s, and we had 5 83s. Okay, there we go. So that is our entire class score. We need to add them all up to find the sum and then divide by the count. So if we were to add up all 4 of the 92s, that would give you 368. If you were to add up all of the 87s, that would give you 261. And if you were going to add up all the 83s, that would give you 415. Now we can add all 3 of those together to give us a grand total of 1,044. So that's our sum. Now let's figure out the count. You could look and you see that you have 4 plus 3 plus 5 students. So that would be 7 plus 5, so that's 12 students. Let's do that in orange. Or you could count all your numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and you see that you get the same answer. So the average is going to be your total, or the sum, divided by the count, which we know is 12, and that will give us 87. So the average score in this class was 87%. Now that was a lot of writing. What we could have done, instead of writing it all out, is we could have used multiplication. We could have multiplied 4 times 92 plus 3 times 87 and 5 times 83. Adding those together would have given you 1044, and I showed you how to get 12 students out of the list. Ultimately, both of the methods work, just one of them takes a little bit more effort. So in this video, we learned what the average is and how to find it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments. Thank you so much for watching.